So ancient Egypt is down in Louisiana. And Louisiana is where they do the second line. Louisiana is where the second line is basically when somebody dies and they have the marching band out there. They got the trumpets out there. The trumpets is big. We could go back to Revelations and see the trumpet. Okay, so the trumpets are biblical. So now we got the in Louisiana, they take the second line, they take you on your last ride, they take you through the different wards, and this is a ceremony, this is a ritual, and it's an ancient ritual because down in Louisiana, this is Egypt. Down in Mississippi, this is Egypt. Down in Texas, this is Egypt. So a lot of these rituals and ceremonies are ancient. Our ancestors have been doing this. This is roots and culture. We could go back to ancient Egypt and see how long they've been doing this. Okay? So we were reading about what's going on. So we know that besides the canopic jars, the embalmers also need large quantities of linen for wrapping the body. Why linen? Why did they wrap the bodies up in linen? Why did ancient Egyptians wrap the bodies up in linen? For one, linen is the most high frequency fabric because linen is like cotton, it could be grown. Did you know that they grew linen? The ancient Egyptians grew linen, they grew cotton because these are high frequencies, right? So when they tell us the story about us being slaves picking cotton, they don't want you to be associated with this cotton. Why? Because this cotton was a high frequency because the Egyptians produced three different types of cottons and they was producing linen because the Egyptians were scientists and they were alchemists, right? So they was chemists, alchemy, right? From Kemet, alchemists, scientists. So they were able to create these crops, create plants, create this fertile soil that was growing from this dark soil that they created, right? Because even Enki, we go back to Enki, the Anunnaki, who was a scientist, and these are Enki's descendants who are scientists, right? So this is how you know we are descendants of these Anunnakis because Enki Anunnaki. And Enlil was his brother who wanted to destroy his children. And Enki was giving his children the knowledge to survive, regardless of whether Enki, because you know Enlil was trying to take them out. And Enki was putting them up on game because Enki was the one who gave Noah the knowledge on how to build the ark. Noah had built the ark, and Noah was this, right? And you had to think about this because Noah's is a direct descendant of Enoch. Right? Enoch. You got the book of Enoch, which the book that Enoch is an Ethiopian. So you know that these Anunnakis are Ethiopians, right? Regardless of what these people are teaching you, I'm just tapping you the truth. Now, if you're gonna go look it up, you could verify information. Enoch was an Anunnaki, and Enoch is the book that's missing out the Bible. If you go back to Genesis, in the book of Genesis, the book about Egypt. The first word in the book of Genesis is the last book in the book of the last book. The last word in the book of Genesis is Egypt. So we know that the book of Genesis is about in Egypt. And so when they had to build this ship, he had to leave. So let's talk about Noah's ship for a minute because I'm connecting this to America, right? So when Noah built this ship, which was called the ark that Noah built, it was made out of gopher. gopher wood, right? So the gopher wood is indigenous to Florida, right? So we know that this gopher wood is indigenous to Florida, right? So that this that was somebody's car. Ain't that crazy? But this um what is it called? This gopher wood that comes from Florida. So we actually know that the biblical place is in America, right? Florida. We trace back and then do you know that West Florida, if you go back and look at a map from the 1700s, West Florida is Mississippi. West Florida is also Alabama. West Florida is Louisiana. So all of that was connected to what is known as West Florida. And West Florida is also what we know as Egypt, right? So Egypt wrapped all the way around from where California is, because California is. They told you in Egypt that they had mounds of gold. They had pyramids made with gold. So I don't know why people are struggling with California, where Califia is from, who had the gold breastplates because she was an Amazon. And this Amazon, who was a demon slayer, she was a demon slayer. If you go back and watch Hercules, that's on Netflix. Hercules has an episode where he is around with the Amazon warrior who has the breastplate of righteousness. Isn't that biblical? Isn't the breastplate of righteousness biblical? Isn't it biblical? It's biblical. Yes, it's biblical. So, with that being said, so you got the biblical land here in America. And we've proved it more than regardless of the guy in the chat saying it's not. That's what I'm talking about. Just because you can't fathom it don't mean that it ain't real. We done went through this. We have went to Tennessee. We got facts from Tennessee. Let's do some facts from Tennessee real quick to show that America is Egypt. And I'm doing this for the people that think it's not. Okay? Even though I don't care what they think because I don't have time to be over here trying to please people. But if you can put together the facts, let's go. Now, the facts are in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, ain't Memphis the capital of Egypt? Anybody know that? Drop a one in the chat. If you know that Memphis is the capital of Egypt, drop a one in the chat. But if you acknowledge that Memphis is the capital of Egypt, then I don't want to talk to you about this because you're not going to comprehend anything I'm saying. Why? Because you don't know that Memphis is the capital of Egypt. So it's not going to do me any good to sit here and talk your head off. You know what I'm saying? Now, Cleopatra, which is a goddess, she is queen of Egypt. Cleopatra had her coronation in Memphis. Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, which is connected to Arkansas, has what is called England. There is an England, Arkansas. Go look it up instead of saying no, it ain't. Go look it up. There is an England, Arkansas that was producing cotton. It was the home of where the cotton was being produced at. Now, this Egyptian cotton now, because we talking about Memphis, which is the capital of Egypt. So we talking about cotton, which was king. Cotton was king. People last name Cotton right now that could go back to this family bloodline, which is connected to who was creating this Egyptians from Kemet, who lived in Louisiana, aka West Florida, like I said. So West Florida also was where at Mobile, Alabama. Mobile, Alabama was a part of Louisiana. Mobile, Alabama play a very big part in history because listen to the name, Mobile. They talking about automobiles. because the Ford plant was originally, yes, the Ford plant was originally in Alabama, where they was creating the automobiles, which was the chariots. Didn't the chariots come from Egypt with the wheels? Then I talk about the wheels was on Transformers. Then I talk about the Transformer said that his first ancestor was a wheel. Then I say they put the wheel, which was AKA the cotton gin, around E.T. neck when they threw him in the Mississippi River. Yeah, they threw him in the Mississippi River. Why? Because that was the Nile River. But if you don't know that you don't know this is Egypt, and you don't know that's the Nile, then all of this information is gonna go over your head. Why? Because the public food system had indoctrinated you to be the miseducation of a Negro. So that's what they wanted. They wanted the Negroes miseducated. Why? Because then you ain't gonna know your origin story. You ain't gonna be able to decode it. You ain't gonna be able to put it together. So that's why when you get on here and you tell people the truth, people are, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. They ain't got near receipt that it ain't, but you got receipts. But they not even listening to what you saying. They not going to look it up. They not going to research it. They not putting nothing together. But yet they gonna sit there. No, it ain't. They the only one doing it though. It's hundreds of people watching. They the only person saying no, it ain't. Everybody else be sitting back being quiet. Why? Because everybody else knows something. Everybody else researching. Everybody else looking this stuff up. Greetings, greetings. I mean, because we just said that Cleopatra lived in the city of Alexandria. It's a Alexandria, Louisiana. It's a Alexandria, Louisiana. What we struggling with here? If I'm telling you America, Egypt, and I got receipts, the receipts is that she lived in Alexandria. I'm telling you, Alexandria is in Louisiana, and Louisiana was once part of Florida. And Florida is where Noah got the gopher wood from to build the ark. What we struggling with here? Noah was in Egypt. The Bible even say that Noah was in Egypt. So what are we struggling with here? And then down in Egypt, they talk about the boat. They talk about the boat in Egypt. Let me get my book out, because they talk about the boat in Egypt. They do. They talk about the ship. That they talk about the ark. This book right here particularly is about death. Hold on, I got all mad and see, that's why I don't like to be answering them little questions and stuff, because then it throw me off for what we got going on. And some of us been studying this stuff for so long, and some of us so deep into these studies that when people come with them surface level questions up here asking that little simple stuff, we don't want to stop this deep information for small talk. But I don't want to leave the people behind that's up here, but they left themselves behind, because it's too much knowledge out here for people not to know. We in the age of Aquarius. How you don't know? TikTok people on here teaching. You got people on YouTube teaching. You got people on Facebook teaching. You got people teaching all. I mean, like, you not know at this point. That's because you don't want to know. If you ain't getting your facts together and study to show yourself approved, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. Because that's not fair that we got to sit up here and act like we don't know stuff because people don't got their knowledge together. And you got to downplay what you saying because somebody don't go deeper into their studies. And you got to sit here and talk on the surface because people can't go deep. I'm where the people at that study? Yeah. Come on. Like, we tired of having surface level conversations. We tired of small talk. We actually want to get to it. We actually want to talk to somebody that knows something. Like, for real. You know what I mean? I'm up here telling you down in ancient Egypt where they got the whole queen of the Nile down there in the night, Cleopatra. Then I'm sitting up here telling you about how it was the females that was going out there that was having the ceremonies, that was starting the second lines, that was starting the musical ceremonies when they was marching the people to the cemetery, the people that was dealing with the death, the people that was building the city of the dead that was built out of stones, and they was Olmecs. The Olmecs is the stone civilization. The Olmecs is the Dahomies. The Olmecs is the woman warriors, the Amazons, the demon slayers, the Greeks, the Greek warriors. Cleopatra was Greek, but I can't even get into that because you know it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Like, just be quiet and go watch somebody else content because we over here getting into it. If you feel like it ain't, just go somewhere else because you messing up what we got going on. And I mean that respectfully. Because I'm tired of the people that don't study messing it up for those of us that study. Because now we getting into this knowledge. We really know that this is Louisiana. We really know Alexandria is in Louisiana. We know that it is a Egypt, Texas. We know it's a Palestine, Texas. We know it's a Scotland, Texas. We know it's a Paris, Texas. We ready to get it popping. You know? We know that Ramses, the statue of Ramses, is sitting on the banks in front of the Pro-Bad shop in Memphis, Tennessee. So if America ain't Egypt, you tell us why it's pyramids down in Memphis, Tennessee. If America ain't Egypt, you explain to us why it's pyramids all up and down Louisiana Nile River. If America ain't Egypt, you tell us why we finding all these biblical places here in America. You tell us. You tell us why we found the Ozark Mounds. See, you could go ask Google that. See, I'm about to silence your mic, brethren, in a minute, because you're doing the smile talk. We don't want to do the smile talk. Ask Google where the obelisk is. That's what I'm talking about. We don't want to do that. If you ain't gonna go watch the videos on YouTube, you stay behind then. Because I don't got time. I don't got time. I'm not here to babysit people's children. My children know what this is. My 13-year-old can get up here and teach this. My 13-year-old could teach you about these canopic jars and how they made out of alabaster. My 13-year-old can get up here and tell you who Osiris is, who Isis is. My 13-year-old can get up here and teach you about ancient Egypt. My 13-year-old can get up here and point out what a hieroglyph is and break it down and tell you what it is. Why? Because her mama on her job. That's my job. Wasn't this in the Transformers movie? Wasn't this relic in the Transformers movie? I done sat up here and broke down Transformer movies how many times, but if you don't know what the relic is and you don't know what a relic is, then I can't break down the movie. Why? Because you lack knowledge. But then if I tell you I got a video on my YouTube channel breaking down what relics is, don't you think you need to go watch it so you can be informed and know what's going on instead of interrupting the live asking us what's a relic? That's not fair to everybody that done went and looked up a relic. But if you're not going to go look it up, that's not fair for you to keep sitting over here asking questions. You're not going to do the work. Nobody not going to carry you. You feel me? I be telling you what to go look up. I do. And I mean that respectfully. Because we ain't gonna never learn nothing if we sit here and keep spoon feeding people. People gotta learn how to eat some meat, bro. People gonna have to get some teeth and learn how to chew. You feel me? Like, come on now. We over here, we growing with this knowledge. And we ain't got time to be over here. Here, did you get a little bit? Come on. Look, some of my people is real scholars out here, like got libraries. And matter of fact, drop a 1 in the chat, you got a library. Drop a 2 in the chat if you about to get started. 1, you got a library. 2, you get ready to get started. Cause I don't want to hear that. They got the AI out here, and people think this AI is so intelligent. Let me tell you something. Y'all done seen me outsmart AI. Y'all done seen me outsmart AI. Y'all done seen it. I done outsmarted AI several times. Why? Because I am the original intelligence. Okay? Somebody drop OI in the chat. Somebody drop OI in the chat. Yes, because they got AI everywhere, and I need somebody to remember who the hell they is. OI. We are original intelligence. Okay? Original intelligence. They are copying your intelligence with this artificial intelligence. They mimicking you. They say they mimic the Christ. Ain't you the Christ? The Christ is consciousness. The Christ is not a Christ is not one being. The Christ is not one human. The Christ is consciousness, people. It's consciousness. It's consciousness. Why? Because people don't look it up. Well, so and so said, I don't care. Did you go look it up? Did you go buy you an etymology dictionary? Because I got one that costs $50 and it said it's consciousness. It's consciousness. The Christ is consciousness, and the Christ is a crystal, Christos. You see the crystals? You see the crystals? It's crystals, Christos, crystals. The pineal gland is a crystal. It's a chakra. It's a crystal, and it's colorful. Colors, rainbow. Remember Noah had the covenant with God with the rainbow. It was the rainbow was consciousness. The contract was consciousness. To be conscious. People ain't conscious, bruh. People sleep living in the land of Nod. That was in the Bible too. The land of Nod. Cain. When you got the mark of Cain, when you sleep. That's the mark of Cain. Remember Cain unalived Abel? Remember that? So when Cain unalived Abel, Cain was marked. So when you got that mark, that means that you sleep, right? Because his pineal gland went out. He was in the dark. That's why he had to go live in the land of Nod. What you missing? What you missing? He had to go live in the land of Nod. Why? Because he was asleep. Why? Because he was unconscious. You feel me? So that's why you got to go live in the land of the dark, right? And then Jacob, remember Jacob? Well, Jacob was wrestling with God in the pineal gland because Jacob also connected to Jacob's ladder, which is the 33 degrees, right? So he had to climb up the ladder 33 degrees in order to get into what. So he saw, when he saw the angels ascending and descending from off the ladder. So he had to level up his consciousness in order for him to even understand that the angels was ascending and descending. So now we talking about angels. We definitely talking about Enoch. Because we not about to talk about no angels without talking about Enoch. Because these are descendants of Enoch the Ethiopian, who is John the Presser. John the Presser. We're not even about to talk about angels without talking about Enoch, who is the Ethiopian. So if John the Presser is an Ethiopian and Enoch is John, right? We got that? So that's where the Johnsons come from. That's where the Jacksons come from. I talk about this all the time. I say the Johnsons biblical, the Jacksons biblical, the Jacob is biblical. No, it ain't. All right, fine. Cool. Show me a receipt it ain't. I got receipts it is. Show me it ain't. Show me it ain't. Show me. Don't just tell me it ain't. Show me. Can I have somebody throw a rose up on the screen? We cooking. We cooking. Gratitude, gratitude. Gratitude, 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 gratitude. Gratitude, family, gratitude, gratitude. Yeah, we eating, we breaking bread of understanding, right? We learning about who we are. We the Ethiopians, right? Ethiopian is a Greek word. So if Ethiopian is a Greek word, who made up the word Ethiopian? The Greeks. So it's we the Greeks. Cleopatra was Greek. What we struggling with here? We Greek. What we struggling with here? We Greek. We speak Latin. We wrote Latin. We the creators of writings. We the creators of the hieroglyphs. We the creators of mummifying. We the creators of spirituality. We are the creators. What are you struggling with? What are you struggling with? What you struggling with? We the Greek gods. What you struggling with? The Greek gods is the Roman gods, and the Roman gods is the Egyptian gods, and the Egyptian gods is the Hindu gods. What are you struggling with? Oh, you mixing doctrines. No, I'm telling the truth. You the one over there indoctrinated because you think these doctrines. You don't know doctrines from truth. We remember they said when the heavens fell, because the heavens fell, so we had to start blending our religion. That's what they said. We had to blend our religion. So we would have Catholicism inside Christianity. We would have Hinduism inside Christianity. Because we was forced to become Christians, right? Because they had did something to the religion, right? Yeah, because it was corrupt, right? That's where the French Protestant come from, because we was protesting against it, right? Because we knew that it was corrupt, right? We knew this, right? And you got to think about it, because we are the Mayans, right? Wasn't the Mayans the predictors of time? Wasn't the Mayans the keepers of time? Wasn't we the Mayans? And we knew that this was going to happen because we the Naga serpents. We knew this was going to happen. The Naga serpents are the Asiatic men who come from India, who are the Hindus. What are you confused about? We had the Vedas. What you confused about? We the Lemurians that came here to warn the Atlanteans about this technology called AI that was going to destroy everything. What are you talking about? We the Venetians that had to come here to establish the civilizations. The Venetians are all women. You ain't never heard that? Venus, the women come from Venus and the men come from Mars. Yes, because in Mars y'all destroyed y'all planet because y'all had went to war and y'all got all the pyramids and y'all got, that's the red planet, right? And they destroyed it, right? Because that's that masculine ego stuff, right? So that's when the Venetians, the woman, the wisdom, the soft one, the wise one, had to come in. The Dark Vader had to come in and straighten out these men. Yeah, we had to come in and straighten them out, sis. Yeah, we had to come in here just like they was like children that ain't had no mama. Didn't Peter Pan tell you that they was the lost boys? Oh, you don't think that that's connected neither, right? Oh, you think Peter Pan ain't connected to none of this, right? And Peter Pan had Indians and the cosmos, and they was going to other dimensions. But that's a cartoon, right? That's just a cartoon, right? I mean, Peter Pan was Irish. He had red hair just like King David. And people still be disputing if Peter Pan was a woman or a man to this day, don't they? That's not a coincidence. You better wake up. Because Peter Pan was the king of the fairies, right? Of the fairies. The fairies. The Pharisees. Come on, people. Wake up. Ain't the elves connected to Memphis? The elves, like in the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the elves. See, it's so much hidden knowledge that people don't know and they can't comprehend. I'm trying to tell you. Because the elves is the Munchkins, right? That's the Wizard of Oz. But we would never connect Snow White to the Wizard of Oz, would we? We would never put that together, would we? We would never put that together again. But they gonna show you that Cinderella, no, Snow White and Cinderella, they all ate an apple and went to sleep. I mean, Eve ate an apple too, didn't she? Or Adam, somebody who ate an apple. I mean, I'm just saying these people been eating, all these folk eating these enchanted apples going to sleep. I'm just trying to tell you something. I'm just trying to tell you something. The story just keep repeating itself after a while. I don't even know what their names is no more. I just know this the same shit, different toilet. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Sleeping Beauty ate an apple and went to sleep. Adam ate an apple and went to sleep. Eve ate an apple and went to sleep. Maleficent, it was an apple in that movie. What's his name on Beauty and the Beast? Adam. He ate an apple and went to see what I'm saying. On Beauty and the Beast, dude named Adam, the little dude that got turned into half lion, half man, him. His name was Adam. Really? Then when you read the Bible, it say Adam wore animal skins. So is that Adam? Is that Adam? Because Adam got enchanted. And I've been to New Orleans and they definitely be enchanting people down there. You ever been down there? You? You? They be enchanting people down there. In New Orleans? Mm. You be down in New Orleans, honey. They speak old English down there, not modern English. They speak old English. Them people would be like, you are infantilizing. You ever heard somebody tell you you infantilizing? Honey, you would be so busy psychologically frozen in fear thinking you cute that you don't even realize that you're under a spell. You don't even realize somebody casting an old ancient spell on that butt. Because you over there, I'm infantilizing. I'm insatiable. They over there saying this stuff to you. Who uses these words? Besides vampires. Who uses these words? But, oh, they ain't real. Cool, cool. All right. All right, I'm done talking to you because you said they ain't real. Like Abraham Lincoln don't got a whole book out called The Vampire Slayer. I forgot you don't read books. I forgot. That's the problem. You don't read books. I told you I'm on my Cleopatra stuff and I'm building the Alexandria library. And I told you, my grandma just sat here and told y'all people I didn't play with no dolls. I played with books. I just had a 85-year-old receipt up in here. Just 85-year-old receipt. Just come tell y'all who I am. But that ain't good enough for some of y'all. You know what I'm talking about? So, no, it ain't. All right, cool. You right. You right. You right. Just somebody on TikTok going live, talking because I don't got nothing to do. That's cool. You go live, it's a business. When I go live, I'm just going live. That's crazy, ain't it? How people view you and see you. Look at the butterfly. What it say? The butterfly. The butterfly. I am without form, without limit, beyond space, beyond time. I am in everything. Everything is in me. I am the bliss of the universe. Everything I am is the butterfly. So, what is the butterfly? The butterfly is the man. The butterfly is the man. Did they say that the man was without form? Yes, the man is without form. This is why you got to get the knowledge to form the man, because your man has been formed with somebody else's knowledge. So as long as your man has been formed with somebody else's knowledge, somebody else is ruling your universe, right? Because you can't rule your own universe if you can't create your own universe. You're supposed to be the creator of your own universe. Now, how could you create your universe if I'm up here being narcissistic and I'm creating it for you? You can't create your own universe. Why? Because you're not thinking for yourself. You're not knowing for yourself. You're not learning for yourself. You're not comprehending for yourself. So therefore, you're going to always need a leader. You're going to always need somebody to be in charge. You're going to always look to somebody to feed you. Like my daddy said, if you don't learn how to feed yourself, then you're going to starve. Why? Because you're going to depend on others for your food, because you don't know how to go out there and get it out the mud for yourself. That's what getting this knowledge is all about. So how did I learn that the butterfly is the man? Because I studied. I'm not just, that's not an opinion. You know, people, that's your opinion. That's not an opinion. Do you know what an opinion is? Opinion is if I say you look nice today. That's an opinion because I feel like you look nice. You might look crazy, but I might just be saying that to be nice to you, because nice actually means stupid. So that's an opinion, right? A fact is that down in Memphis, Tennessee got hieroglyphs on the buildings. Memphis, Tennessee, down in Memphis, they got pyramids. Down in Memphis, they got pharaohs. Down in Memphis, they got Ramses the second statue is at the zoo. Why is Ramses the second the great at the zoo? Somebody tell me why they got a Ramses statue down there at the zoo. And somebody tell me why every animal that's indigenous to America is down there at the zoo in hieroglyphs in Memphis. Somebody, you explain, or you explain. Get Keisha in here to explain. Call your favorite TikTok or whoever. Go get some. Call Jesus. Get somebody in here. Dr. Ben, I don't care. Go get somebody to explain that to me. Because if y'all can't get nobody to explain that to me, then I'm going to keep on saying that this is Egypt. Because why are every original animal that's original to America, indigenous to America, is down there in hieroglyphs? Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Why is it in hieroglyphs down in Memphis, Tennessee, if this ain't Egypt? Explain that to me. You can't explain that to me. And you can't then, if you could explain that, you gonna definitely have to explain to me why down in the Ninth Ward, why that river is carved out looking like Cleopatra. You're gonna have to explain that too. Then you gonna have to explain to me why is there a Alexandria and they got a library down there in Louisiana and they destroyed it and they burnt it down just like the one that's in Egypt. Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Explain to me why y'all got an Egypt, Texas. Explain to me why it's a Palestine, Texas, and a Scotland, Texas. Explain that to me. Explain to me why it's a Dahomey, Mississippi, if we ain't the ancient Dahomies. Explain that to me. Explain to me why it's a Florence, Alabama, where my grandma was born at. And it's called Florence because Florence is the capital of Normandy, and Normandy is in France, and we the French. Explain that to me. Explain that to you. Can't, can you? You can't, can you? You can't. Once I get to throwing them receipts at you, you can't catch them, can you? I'm just saying because people be like, no, it ain't. Yes, it is. Explain it. Get your receipts out. We throwing receipts at you. Get your receipts out and tell us something different. You can't, can you? You can't. You can't tell us why Dallas got the 5 stars and the 5 stars connected to Egypt. You can't tell us that. You can't explain that, can you? Can you? No, you can't. You can't explain to us why down in Las Vegas, why they got all them Egyptian statues and the Luxor temples. Explain it to us. We don't worry, we sit here and wait. Don't we stand right here and we waiting. Don't worry. You gonna explain since you know everything and you keep telling us that this ain't Egypt and you keep telling us that we don't know what we talking about. We waiting on you to get your receipts out and explain this to us. Because we've been studying. And we know that Jerusalem is Virginia. We know that where y'all killed Nat Turner at. We know that. We's aware. We know that Pennsylvania got Bethlehem and Galilee in it and Nazareth. And we know that Jesus was born in Bethlehem. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We know. We know that Jesus was from Nazareth. And it's a Nazareth, Pennsylvania. We know. That's where William Penn was from, ain't it? William Penn. William Penn that had the little feather pen just like Dope. Come on, quit playing with us, bruh. Quit playing with us. We know George Washington was up there in Philadelphia writing letters to the 7 churches of Philadelphia, just like Jesus and John, right? The apostle, because John was up there with Jesus. We know. We know what's going on. And you anybody want to explain to us what's going on? Anybody want to tell us what's going on about the Virgin Mary from Maryland? Anybody want to tell us about Harriet the ruler, Harriet the spy, Harriet the Scotland? Anybody want to tell us about that? Harriet the Queen of Scots. Anybody want to tell us about how Harriet is married? Anybody want to elaborate about that? Anybody want to tell us that? Anybody? Do anybody want to tell us how Virginia is Old Dominion and that's Hades? Anybody want to elaborate? Anybody? Anybody? Can I have somebody throw a rose up there? Am I cooking? Is it hot? Am I cooking? Am I cooking? Am I cooking though? Am I cooking though? You know what I'm saying? Because I think I'm cooking. I think I'm putting it in the grease. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm putting it together. You know, I'm putting the, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just saying these people be sitting up here, no, it ain't, but ain't got no receipts. But then when I get to showing up and I get to putting your receipts up, now it's a problem. Now it's a problem. Now I don't know what I'm talking about. Now people want to come for me and all this old other stuff. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I just sit back and be Lady Justice. I man my own business. People come over here in my chat. No, it ain't. I ain't come in your chat. I ain't come on your page. I ain't expose you. I ain't tell nobody not to watch you. I ain't called out your name. None of that. But you, then I be getting on TikTok looking and people be talking stuff about moi. I be like, me? Oh, okay. What they mad at me for? But then they be sitting in my chat watching. Hey, you sit in my chat and watch, but to sit on their channel and dog me out. Say I don't know what I'm talking about. But be over here getting receipts. But be over here connecting dots. But be over here getting the knowledge. We be over here, don't even speak, don't even say they got it from me. But yeah, you know what I mean? People ain't right, bro. I'm just saying. But I'm over here telling you to get your heart right, though. But I'm over here telling you about thought. I'm over here telling you about my eye. I'm telling you about the laws of my eye. I'm teaching you scripture. I'm teaching you about the Hindus, the Vedas, Krishna, Shiva. I'm over here teaching you the truth. I'm over here teaching you about everything Rasta said. Teaching you everything about higher self, higher man. Teaching you everything about the code in these movies and the truth in them. You know what I mean? Come on now. Come on now. But that's the boat I was looking for right there. That's the boat I was looking for right there when I got all riled up and stuff, right? The boat. Okay, so it say, but you're still only seeing hints. You got a way to go yet. The gate, the gate, the pyramid gate. So this is the gateway, the boat, ride boat. It's the gate. Okay, so it say gone, 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 beyond gone. Hell the gore. Beyond even conceiving of a place beyond which you can go and beyond whose adventure is enough to want to go on that journey. Do you realize when you go on that journey, in order to get to the destination, you can never get to the destination in the process? You must die. You must die. Pretty fierce journey, pretty fierce requirement. We want volunteers. Now, we'll make the journey as comfortable as possible. You have to realize that after you pass through the Van Allen belt, you're going to get out to another belt of radiation, which is going to crisp you completely, and you will perish, but there will be an essence left that will get through. Would who would like to volunteer? Couldn't be make, especially in salted soup. No, sorry, can't do it. If you propel hard enough, there will be going through, there will be something that will get through to the other side. We can't really define what you'll be, but you will be beyond that. Why would anyone go on a trip like that or an adventure? Well, that's one thing about an adventure is an adventure wants to stay around an adventure. And if he's going to be Chris in the process, there's going to be no adventure left to have had the adventure. But you see, there is something that pulls a person towards this journey, way away, back deep inside. You see where you're going? So they telling you when you die, where you return back to. The lotus flower, and that's inside your mama, being burnt to a crisp because you got to come through your mother's ring of fire. When a woman has a baby, she has what is known as a ring of fire. So this is when you go through the process of dying, you're coming back through a journey of being reborn. That's reincarnation. And they said nobody volunteers. Why? Because if you knew what you had to go through, to go through the process of being reborn, you would not volunteer to do it, right? This is why you chosen. You got to do it, right? Because nobody will volunteer. Nobody would ever die if they gave us an option. You know what I'm saying? People will live forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So this is why death is not an option. Death is a part of life. You gonna die. You gonna live. You gonna die. You gonna breathe. You gonna, you know what I'm saying? You gonna not breathe. And it's a part that comes from behind that veil, behind the place of our own birth. It's as if you have tasted of something somewhere in your past that's been so high, so much light, so much energy that nothing you can experience through any of your senses or thoughts can be enough. Everybody knows that there is a place which is totally fulfilling, not in a desperate flick of fulfillment. It is the state of fulfillment. You may experience despair that you'll never ever know that, because through the despair and through the surrender, this is where you get closer. This is where you come to surrendering. And what keeps you from that place that gives you that total feeling of experience and knowing and fulfillment? All of this posturing, all of your thoughts, all of your ways of organizing your world, all of your plans, all of your games, all of your exploring. Some of us do go on this journey. We didn't stand up and say we volunteered. It didn't work like that. It's not like you had a choice of volunteering or not volunteering. That isn't the way it works. It is as if you're propelled into it, like the moth onto a flame. It's called remembering. You see, it say remember, be here now. Remember and be here now. Remember and be here now. Okay, that's the name of the book. Okay, so it says like a mouth onto the flame, but yet nobody's pushing you. Nobody's standing around saying, get in, take every third man. He goes. It doesn't work like that way either. So this is death, right? We're understanding death, right? It's a little more like the image of a caterpillar enclosing itself in a cocoon in order to go through life's metamorphosis to emerge as a butterfly. The caterpillar doesn't say, well, now I'm going to climb into this cocoon and come out a butterfly. No, when you get into the cocoon, you don't even know. Like when I was telling y'all how I started this process, I didn't know I was going to end up being a butterfly. I was just being obedient. I was just doing what was right, getting in the cocoon, right? And the cocoon, that's the process, right? Because when you get in the cocoon, the process gonna start. So in your spiritual journey and you just being obedient, you just following your spirit, that's getting in the cocoon. Now once you get in that cocoon, stuff gonna start happening. You know, stuff you can't explain. You know, wings coming out your back. You know what I'm saying? You flying. You know what I'm saying? You have an ability to fly. You got an ability to do different things. You don't want to hang around with caterpillars no more. Not saying you won't forget where you came from, but I'm a butterfly now. I got wings. What I look like creeping around on the ground with caterpillars. I got wings now. I am about to go and pollinate some flowers. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go do some butterfly stuff. Now, caterpillar, I see you when you get your wings and you come up here and start flying with me. But until then, I'm not about to be down there doing no small talk with no caterpillar. I don't think I'm better than caterpillars, but I have evolved and I'm no longer a caterpillar. And there's some caterpillars out here in the spirit that have not got wings and they not flying, they not soaring, they don't see things from the perspective you see things, they can't fly in from the angle you fly in. They ain't been to other parts of the world because they a caterpillar. They probably only been in the parking lot. They ain't been over here and over there and saw all this stuff from different angles. And this is your mind I'm talking about, because your mind could be a caterpillar or it could be a butterfly. Then you got to decipher what type of man you got, because some people got caterpillar minds. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't went through their process yet. They ain't went through their awakenings. They ain't went through their little dark nights of the soul. They ain't went through sitting up on the side of their bed wondering what's the meaning of life. They ain't sat up on the side of their bed and thought about it got to be some deeper purpose to my life, because I know I didn't come to the earth just to go through stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because some people ain't had their spiritual awakening yet, so they don't know. They ain't put it together yet, right? So it's just inevitable process. It's inevitable. It's just happening. It's got to happen that way. We're talking about metamorphosis. We're talking about going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. We're talking about how to become a butterfly. I mean, the caterpillar isn't walking around saying, man, I'll soon be a butterfly, because as long as he's busy being a caterpillar, he can't be a butterfly. He can't fathom what a butterfly is fathoming. He can't see life from a butterfly perspective. He don't know nothing about a butterfly, because all he could do is be a caterpillar, stay in his caterpillar lane. You know what I'm saying? So man, I'll soon. Okay, so he can't be a butterfly. It's only when caterpillarness is done that one starts to be a butterfly, and that again is a part of the paradox. You cannot rip away caterpillarness. The whole trick occurs in the unfolding process under which you have no control. That's a hard one. Well, what I'm doing here, if I have no control, you mean I don't have any choices? Can't I say this is nonsense? Your lecture changed my whole life. No, not it's an unfold. You think the choice is a process. If you could stand back far enough to watch the whole process, you will see you are a total determined being. The very moment you will wake up is totally determined how long you will sleep. Let me say that again. Gratitude, gratitude, fam. Let me say that again. You are a total determined being. The very moment you will wake up is the totally determined how long you will sleep. It's totally determined what you will hear of what I say. It's totally determined. There are no accidents in this business at all. Accidents are just from where you're looking. To the ego, it looks like it's a miracle and accidents. No miracles, no accidents. It's just your vantage point that you sort of stuck in. The whole trick I'm talking about is fraught with the most exquisite paradox. As soon as you give it all up, you can have it all. How about that one? As long as you want power, you can't have it because you want it. The moment you stop, okay. The moment you stop wanting power, that's when you will receive power. The moment you stop wanting power, that's when you will receive power, right? Because it say, how about that one? As long as you want power, you can't have it. The minute you don't want power, you'll have more than you ever dreamed possible. What a weird thing. As long as you have an ego, you're on a limited trip. You're on a travel trip that's going to last maybe about 60, say maybe 70, maybe 80 years, and full with fear instead of trying to make its own eternity. So it's a lot of people who are full of ego, and they are never going to tap into their real purpose. Why? Because they too worried about what people think. They too worried about, they stuck. They stuck in the caterpillar of it. You get what I'm saying? They stuck in the caterpillar. What did they call it? The caterpillarism. So it's a lot of people that can't evolve into a butterfly. Why? Because they too busy worried about what people think about them as a caterpillar. See, they too busy concerned about being a caterpillar. And when you are striving to be a caterpillar, honey, you can't even evolve into a butterfly. Why? Because you hold yourself back. You know what I'm saying? You so busy trying to be a caterpillar, and you, because you think that's all it is to life. You don't know that you came here to evolve. You didn't come here to stay the same. You know how many people are breaking their neck to maintain the same? You know how many people are fighting the forces of nature so they can stay the same? You know how many people are just doing the most because they want to stay the same. They don't want change. They don't want to evolve. They don't want to transform. Like they just fighting the whole caliber. They fighting the butterfly process. They are fighting to be a caterpillar. And they don't even know they're a caterpillar. Like they don't even know that you came here to evolve into a butterfly. You know what I'm saying? Because a butterfly evolve into something too. And that's gonna evolve into something else, and that's gonna evolve into something else. But you too busy trying to be a caterpillar. I want to be black. I'm the black people, and that's sticking to a caterpillar. Because some of us only deal with black people, right? Some of us only deal with white people, right? But that's still a caterpillar because now you can't evolve. Why? Because you stuck to this little whatever caterpillar man set. You can't evolve. Some people are Christians. They can't grow. You feel me? Some people are, I'm just saying, like, whatever it is you stuck to, that's a caterpillar mindset, right? Because some people can't open their mind up to evolve. Some people can't go past that little thing that people can't learn because they stuck on what they think they know. They caterpillar mindset, right? Okay, so it says understanding the possibilities. There are three ways in which one knows what we are talking about tonight. One way in which you know about it is through direct experiences. So, how do you know about the truth? Through direct experiences. So, these experiences teach you the truth. So when you going through these spiritual awakenings, this is the spirit teaching you firsthand. Because people say, well, if you ain't learning from me, then you don't know nothing. You know, some of these people have real big platforms and they tell you that. They say, if you didn't learn this from me, then you ain't learning nothing. They say, if I didn't teach you that, then you don't know nothing. Because you not intelligent enough to know nothing for yourself. If you didn't learn it from me, then I mean, that's ego, right? They say ego is stopping people from evolving, right? And that's ego, because some people want to be the only person that know how to do stuff. They want to be the only person that could do stuff. They want to be the only one. That's ego, right? When your ego injured, you think you the only one in the universe, right? You are unaware that there's other people walking around the universe when you operating out of ego. Am I right or wrong? Because I used to operate out of ego. Now I realize that there are other gods. And I realize that other gods bring things to the table. And I realize that each one could reach one, each one could teach one. But I had to come up out of ego, right? I had to go through spiritual awakenings to get me up out of my ego. I did. Spiritual awakenings, real life sweat, blood, and tears. Was sitting on the side of my bed crying, heart broke, looking at people sideways, looking at people funny. Went through some stuff though, you feel me? Shed some skin like a serpent, you feel me? Real talk, the Ka. Then I teach you about the Ka, which is the serpent spirit that's in you. Somebody drop the Ka in the chat, because I be teaching you stuff. That's not egotistical, that's just truth. Because I ain't the first one to teach about the Ka. I ain't the only one to teach about the Ka. Doggone it. If you need to teach somebody about the Ka later on today, you do that. This ain't ego. This is real. This is real stuff going on. Yes, the Ka. Yes, the Ka. That's the spirit. Remember, the ba is the soul and the ka is the spirit. Because somebody asked me what's the difference. Now you know. The ka is the spirit and the ba is the soul. Okay? The ka sheds skin. The ba can fly. We got that. The ka sheds skin. The ba can fly. We got that. So the soul can fly and the spirit sheds skin. So if the spirit sheds skin, who are you? Who are you? Because the spirit sheds skin. And I said the spirits be talking to us because the spirit is in us, because the spirit is in our skins, because we are the skins of the ancestors. Wakanda forever. Ain't that the X chromosomes? Don't I teach about the chromosomes? Don't I teach about biology? Don't I teach who are your ancestors? Don't I teach who are they reincarnations? Don't I teach that transmigration of the soul? Wakanda forever. Right. Welcome to spiritual situations. Don't we learn this over here, people? Yeah, come on now. All right. I'm proud. I'm proud of my people. I'm proud of my people because they said we was gonna be destroyed for lack of knowledge. Now, child, y'all look like y'all know some stuff to me. Y'all look like y'all know some stuff about the soul and the spirit. Y'all over here talking about Kas and Bas, and y'all over here teaching people in the chat. Somebody else people might need to be worried, but my tribe of Judah over here ain't tripping. We in the lion's den, we doing lion stuff. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, now let's keep evolving these spirits over here. Uh, through burying a child, direct experiences, through some way, through being alone in the desert, through falling in love, through bearing a child, through nearly dying, through turning on, through yoga, through taking any one of your senses and pushing it beyond itself. These are all how you come into spiritual awakenings. Anybody here ever almost lost their life? Drop a one in the chat if you almost lost your life. You had a near death experience because near death experiences will teach you about spiritual awakenings. And when you had a near death experience and people try to tell you that the spirit ain't real, the soul ain't real, and this and that, bro, let them know I had a near death experience. So the spirit taught me about death. Okay. I don't know who you are and where you got your knowledge from, but the spirit taught me about death because I almost died a couple of times. So I had a few near death experiences. So let's say that I saw death, I met death. Let's say that. Let's say me and death was eye to eye. Let's say that I had a conversation with death a couple of times. Okay? Let's say that. Because when you say I don't know what I'm talking about, factor in I had near death experiences. Factor that in because you don't know what I seen, what I heard, what I felt. You don't know that. And you don't know who I know who had near death experience and what type of conversations we had. So you don't lack knowledge and speak on that. Okay? I'm just saying because you got people that be speaking on stuff and they don't be knowing what they saying when they talking about you. So you had to let people know that you know stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I knew this before I got on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I knew this before I had got on YouTube, Facebook, any of that. I knew about near death experiences when I had the near death experience. Okay. Now, um, these are spiritual awakenings. And these spiritual awakenings will awaken you to the truth. Okay. It will. It will awaken your spirit. It'll awaken your soul. It'll awaken your everything. Now we was on here with the Egyptian books. I know we moving around. That's what we do over here. We move around. We Cleopatra, Library of Alexandria over here. Okay. Yeah, so we over here learning about death because you know I'm obsessed with death like Cleopatra was. Okay, like the people in Louisiana are. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just my lineage. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. That's Anubis, and Anubis got the body on top of the lion table. Why the table shaped like a lion if we ain't the lions of Judah? Why are we talking about Lionel? Why we talk about Thundercats? Why do we talk about the Jaguars and the cat people? Why am I always talking about Leos and lions? Because some people say I'm stealing their content. But what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we talking about cat people over here? Why am I always talking about Thundercats? Why am I always talking about He-Man? Why am I always talking about Cleopatra? And why am I always talking about Mufasa and Simba? Why am I always talking about Narnia? Anybody want to know why I'm always talking about lions and Leos and stuff? Anybody? Because I said I'm obsessed with Egypt. Now, do you understand that I'm obsessed with the lion table? The lion table. Why? Because the lion table is where they prepare your body for eternity. The Leo is dealing with your death. This is your spirit, your lion spirit. Your spirit is a lion. Remember they said in ancient Egypt they got the animals, the human forms, the animal forms, and they said the cat is sacred to Egypt. They got mass cat mummies in Egypt. Why do they got mass cat mummies in Egypt? Because the cat is the spirit. I always say that. The cat is the spirit. The spirit is the cat. That's it. The cat. Somebody drop KAT in the chat, please. KAT in the chat. I want you to drop KAT because I want you to see that the spirit is the Ka. I'm teaching you something if you listening, right? The spirit is the Ka. Come on, this is the cat spirit. This is why ancient Egyptian is associated with shapeshifting in the cats. Why? Because your spirit is a cat. And the fact that your spirit is in human form, your spirit can shapeshift because you in human form right now. And when you leave human form, it's going to turn back into a cat spirit. Yeah, you going to go back to cat form where you came from because you ain't from here. Didn't Leonidas say that the cats was from a different planet and they had to come to the earth? You just a cat here in the earth. Chill out. You are the man lion that come from Judah. The man lion that come from the tribe of Judah, a.k.a. Egypt. Come on, get it together. Come on, people. Let's go. Then they will wrap your body up in linen. Why? Because linen is it get rid of bacteria. So they was purifying you. Here we go. Can somebody please go look up Jaguar for her? Somebody, please go look up Jaguar for her. Please. Somebody go look up Jaguar for her. Can somebody go look up the etymology of Jaguar and look at the etymology of Jaguar and see that the etymology of Jaguar is lion? Can somebody please go do that for her? Please. Can somebody please go teach her that the original Jaguar is a lion? Can somebody please go teach her that? Please. Somebody. Can somebody teach her that, please? So because she interrupted my class. Please. Because she interrupted my class with small talk. That's that caterpillar shit we was talking about earlier. We on some butterfly stuff flying. I'm just saying that because whoever else want to interrupt the class to teach me about jaguars, I want you to go understand that the original jaguar is a lion. I want you to understand that. I need for you to understand because here we talking about ancient Egypt. It's not no jaguar here. So why are you bringing up jaguars if we learning about Egypt? Because if we was in a real classroom, I would send you out my class. Because I would say you interrupting class, you're not paying attention, and I would say that you got ADHD or something because we're talking about lions over here. Anubis got the man laying on the lion table. Ain't no jaguars nowhere up here. So why are we talking about jaguars? That's how serious I be when I'm teaching. Like you interrupting me talking about something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Because what you just brung up was to tell us that you knew about jaguars, but the jaguar is the lion. I didn't say nothing about leopards. I said the lion. We talking about the Lion of Judah. We not talking about the jaguars. Okay, let me proceed. Back to what I was saying. I'm not here to argue with people. I'm here to teach what I'm teaching. Now go on your platform and teach about lions and whatever. Teach about leopards. Knock yourself out. Do that on your platform. Everybody else that was listening to what we talking about before we was interrupted by somebody that probably only been here for 2 minutes and we're deep in a 2 hour conversation. Gratitude. Gratitude for sitting back listening instead of speaking and causing confusion and speaking out of turn, because that causes confusion. And that's what's going on in our communities too, because people be having arguments that don't got nothing to do with nothing because they don't sit back and listen. That's that ego shit again, right? Okay, because I'm a lion and I'm a Leo. And if anybody gonna talk about ego, it's gonna be me. Because Leos are very egotistical. And if I learned to humble myself, I ain't trying to hear nobody come over here with pride. Because if anybody gonna be full of pride, it's gonna be this Leo right here. And if this Leo can sit my pride down to the side and listen and learn, then you gonna sit your pride aside too. Now let me continue on with my lion lesson that I was talking about. The lion, which was getting ready for eternity. Like Lionel on the Thundercats. His name was Lionel. His name was not Leopardo. His name was not Jaguaro. His name was Lionel because they were connecting him to the Lion of Judah. Ptah. Anybody know who Ptah is? The king of Memphis? Somebody drop Ptah in the chat. Somebody drop Ptah in the chat. Ptah. Ptah. Yes, Ptah. Ptah. Ptah is the god of Egypt, right? Ptah, he is the king of Memphis because Memphis is the capital of Egypt. So that means he the king of Egypt, right? Now, what in Ptah's wife's name Sketmet? What her name Sketmet? Sketmet. Sketmet. Her name was Sekmet. Now Sekmet. Greetings, bro. Now Sekmet. Was she a leopard? Did she have a leopard head? Did she have a leopard head? Did Sketmet have a leopard head? Somebody talk to me. Did she have a leopard head? Did she have a cougar head? Or did she have a lion head? Because we over here talking about these lions. Because it's very important that you understand that we talking about the lion. And then when you talk about the lion, make sure that you know that we got an American lion that actually was extinct. Did you know the American lion is extinct? The American lion and the African lion that you know, that's a hybrid. So that's what people be talking about when they call themselves correcting me out of ego. And they call themselves correcting me to tell me that the jaguar is the original lion. That's what they trying to explain. But they ain't got the receipts to say that. But they be trying to cut me up. And I know they trying to cut me up because they lacking the knowledge to even have the receipts in court. Why? Because I use them same receipts to cut people up. So I be knowing what it is. But you gotta come with your receipts if you gonna come to court. You feel me? Yeah. So the Jaguar, let me see. I'm gonna have to do this right quick. Hold on. Y'all back. I do. How about this? I do a whole Jaguar live with my books and my receipts. Okay, so I just did that. But anyway, back to what we were saying, beautiful souls. Back to what we were saying, because I did kind of cut y'all off from the message to try to prove a point that we ain't even talking about. Because we over here talking about lions. And we gonna stay talking about lions because I'm a Leo and it's my channel and if they don't like talking about lions, they could go elsewhere. That's how I feel. Oh well. I'm just saying, cause you people gonna try to bully me into talking about what they saying. Like, bro, all right, whatever. But anyway, back to us talking about Ptah, right? Remember we was talking about Ptah, who was a lion. A lion, okay, because his wife was a. Let's learn about Ptah over here. Okay, so first reference to Osiris date back to the Old Kingdom, since which time he had been reverenced as the king and ruler of the underworld in his role as the king of the dead. And don't they got the city of the dead down there in Louisiana? All right. So Osiris was the dead ruler, Horus the living king. After his death, Osiris was mourned, mummified, buried, and provided for. The rituals of mummification and restoration of his senses and his soul led to the resurrection in the afterlife. Let me say that again. The rituals of mummification and the restoration of his senses. So they restored his senses. Why? Because the senses is the soul. The senses, not the five senses, but the multi senses. So, what are the multi senses? We talk about the multi senses all the time. We got a lot of five sensory beings walking around here, and if they can't see it, they can't hear it, they can't touch it, they can't smell it, and it ain't in their face, they can't believe it. Why? Because they're five sensory beings. Now, some of us are multi-sensory beings, right? So, multi-sensory beings. You said you can't hear me? Okay. So then we got multi-sensory beings, right? So the multi-sensory beings use clear consistency, clear audience, they use their intuition, they use their discernment, they use their clairvoyance. So you have multi senses. So you know how some people were like, how do y'all know that Egypt is in America? Multi senses. How do y'all know where the body goes? How do you know where the soul goes when people die? Multi senses. How do you know this stuff? Multi senses. How do you know I can't see it? I can't hear it. No, it ain't. Yes, because you in your five senses, like a caterpillar, and some of us are in our multi senses, like a butterfly. So this is where we on different wavelengths with this knowledge, right? Because you got some people. I'm gonna silence your mic. The reason I silence mics because you're not gonna teach over here. You can teach on your platform, but you're not gonna teach on mine. And if you think I'm rude, you think I'm straightforward, you think I'm honest, you're right. But you're not gonna teach over here. Okay? Fine. Gratitude. Appreciate you. But anyway, like I was saying, because then that distracts the class. Now you got people you ain't even talking, we ain't even talking about this. Why are you in who does that? If you on your chat talking about cereal, why would I come over there talking about cars? Why would I hop in your chat and start talking about my steering wheel and start talking about my rims and you over here teaching people about cereal? Why would I come in your lab and start talking about my amps and my rims and my amplifier and how many watts it got and my acoustic speakers? This ain't got nothing to do with what you talking about. That's disrespectful for real. So I'm gonna silence your mic because you talking about that's that ego stuff again. You know what I'm saying? People be like, "Oh, it's a lot of people over here. This is my opportunity to say something." No, not over here. Anyway, back to what we were saying. Okay, so although Osiris as a god was bound up with human existence, his rebirth is symbolized by an image from the plant world and compared to growing a seed. During the New Kingdom, this connection led to the the notion of the corn Osiris, represented as the negative relief, reluctant, Osiris figure hollowed out in clay brick. This figure was filled with the earth and corn seeds. Why? Because Osiris connected to the corn. Now, if you go down there in Louisiana's, what do they got on the St. Louis? So if you look at the St. Louis Saints, what's on there? What's on the St. Louis Saints? Is that corn? No, I'm serious. If we went and looked up the St. Louis Saints down there in Louisiana that I'm claiming is Egypt, is that corn or not? Somebody talk to me. Somebody drop a corn in the chat. Somebody say number one. Drop a number one in the chat. Somebody say yes, no. Somebody throw a rose up there. Somebody do something. Is that corn? Is that corn? Somebody talk to me. Because they said Osiris is the god of the corn. So I'm trying to make it make sense. I'm trying to make it make sense because I watched their whole movie called The Children of the Corn, and they had me scared out my daggone man. But the whole time they was talking about us. I'm just talking about because if you're going to control people by fear, dumb them down, then show them some scary movies with they self in them and make us. Let's keep going. Wait, hold up. Wait, stop, hold on a daggone minute. Because Ptah is the king of Memphis. So you telling me Osiris is the king of Memphis? Okay. Because ain't no waiting. Wait, let me put the name up there for the naysayers because it's gonna be some. No, it ain't. Let me put it up here for them. No, I love making content for them. What that say? That say Ptah. That say right there. What that say? That say Ptah, Sober, Osiris, right? Okay, let me show y'all. What that say? That say Ptah, Sober, Osiris, right? Okay. So Osiris' name is connected to Ptah, right? Because I don't want to have to mute nobody microphone. I don't want to have to send nobody out the classroom because they want to disrupt the class. And no, it ain't. And I just showed you in the book. We took a look in the book, the reading rainbow. You know what I'm saying? We can go anywhere, so we don't need no caterpillars telling us no butterfly stuff. We don't speak caterpillar. Okay? Greetings and gratitude, sisters. Yeah, because we just learned that we is whole butterflies. And it be caterpillars on the ground talking caterpillar stuff. And we butterflies now. We don't even hang with them no more. They is not on our level. They can't do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm a butterfly now. I could do this. I could do that. Now I done messed around. I could do backstrokes. You know what I'm saying? I done messed around and found out. Yeah. You feel I done learned how to work the wing. I done got the backstroke. Yeah. And here go this caterpillar over here. You can't fly. Looky here, caterpillar. Go on, find you a little cocoon to get in. Leave me alone. Because I'm out here doing this butterfly stuff, whether you know what's going on or not. Gratitude. Okay. Gratitude, sis. That was cute. Yes, that was right on time. Just, Okay, so we got the resurrection of Osiris is also expressed in the composition figure of Ptah Sokar Osiris. These figures, very common in the late period, depict the resurrection of Osiris in secretion form of the Memphitic god of the dead. Ptah. Ptah is the Memphitic god because he's the god of Memphis. Yes. Okay, Dana. Okay, so Dana, was you over here? That's you. Okay, all right, I got you. Okay, because I'm devil streaming over here. Okay, I got you. Okay, so He is unified with the particular deceased person whose name is given a vertical band. A vertical band. Okay. These mummification figures wearing a crown with the double feather and ram's horn stand on a small casket with the lid decorated with the statue of the mummified falcon. The casket itself contains a corn Osiris. The combination of the recumbent falcon and the corn Osiris shows this is the grave of Osiris. At the same time, the standing figure of Ptah Sakur Osiris represents the resurrection of Osiris from out of the corn Osiris. Since the figure of Ptah Sakur Osiris is identified with the particular deceased person, the resurrection also applies to that individual. The function of these figures is to make a clear and link between the fate of the deceased that of Osiris. The interpretation of the casket as the grave of Osiris lends these figures a significance greater even than death itself. They show the resurrection, God Ptah Sakur Osiris on the grave of Osiris, which at the same time symbolizes the original man with generated all creation and which will restore order in the world. In this figure, there is a powerful union of death and resurrection, with the paradox that the deceased is set up on the par both with the dead God and the God that comes back to life. The statues of this kind symbolize death and resurrection at one of the same time, thereby linking the two opposed conditions of human in the afterlife. So we know that Osiris and Ptah are one and the same. We know that Ra and Osiris are one and the same. So they said that you got Ptah, which is the Memphite god, and you know the Memphite god had the lion head, and then you know when he was Ra, he had the falcon head. So he's a shapeshifter. Clearly, he's a shapeshifter. So you do know that the Cherokee Indians were shapeshifters. I mean, didn't you see Michael Jackson shapeshift into a what Michael Jackson turned into? Remember in Billie Jean, he turned into a tiger, right? Remember when the ground was changing colors? We was little kids. We was watching it. Do no, do no, do 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 do. Sometimes you gotta do that so people can remember. Cause people is just somebody just remember. Somebody like he did turn into a cat. Like he turned into a tiger, right? A Bengal tiger. He could have picked anything turned into he turned into a Bengal tiger. Now, where do we know a Bengal tiger from? Jungle Book. What was the Bengal tiger name in Jungle Book? Shere Khan. Shere Khan, like Khan. Okay. Shere Khan. All right. Okay. So, who else got a Bengal tiger? You said Jasmine from Aladdin. Oh, her Bengal tiger name was Raja, wasn't it? And that was her protector. Yeah, because that was her animal spirit. Okay, all right, because she lived in the palace. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, so the tiger is the king of the jungle, right? Not the lion, the tiger. Because some people like to teach me about lions, and we're not doing that over here because I'm a Leo. So the lion ain't even the king of the jungle at all. The lion is sacred because the lion represents the sun. Okay. When we talking about the sun, we talking about the lion. So somebody drop the sun in the chat if you know who the ruler of the solar system is, because they could talk about all them other cats all they want to, but the lion is Orion. Okay, Orion. Yeah, Orion's belt. The lion. Yeah, okay, the sun, the universe. Yes. Okay. All right. Yes. Gratitude. The sun. The head of the zodiac. The head of the table. All right. So now you got the lions, and you also have, because remember in Narnia, we got to go back to Narnia since we're talking about lions and we're talking about Ptah being the god of the Memphites, and we're talking about how he could shapeshift, and we're talking about these tigers and all of this, right? We know Michael Jackson turned into a wolf too, didn't he? He turned into a whole wolf on Thriller. The Thriller night. And then remember, he turned into the magician on the Do You Remember How It All Began? We was young and innocent then. I did a whole Michael Jackson live. Yeah, and I can't play it on YouTube because I got copyrighted. And I did it on YouTube. I mean, on TikTok. I might have to do another one because some of y'all was there. Some of y'all was learning. Some of y'all was like, wow, this is amazing. But yeah, so now we talking about shape shifting and magic and Egypt and Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt, and remember he did, wasn't Magic Johnson in the thing? His name Magic Johnson. Do that hit different for anybody that his name was Magic Johnson? Yes, okay, okay. My cousin say I remember that. Okay, you remember Annie? Are you okay with the Mason Blue when he flicked the coin? Yeah, we dissected all my. Then we did about 100 Michael Jackson videos. Then we was on code and all of them, wasn't we? It was amazing. Okay, so after we did that, now Michael Jackson had Magic Johnson. I mean, because we know the Johnsons are biblical, right? Because those are John's sons, right? John the Baptist sons, John and Django, the Freeman sons, right? We know the Johnsons are the Freemans, they the Freemasons. We done learned some things over here in spiritual situation, right? All right, okay, okay. So now that we done learned all this stuff about these Johnsons and these holy men that wore white from Jerusalem, which was high priest and high priestess. Okay, now we have a great deal of information about religious beliefs that led to the mummification of the pharaohnomic Egypt. But we do not know exactly when the Egyptians first attempted to preserve bodies of their dead from decay by embalming them. At first, probably at the beginning of the third millennium BC, the arms, the legs, the body was securely wrapped in strips of linen. Later, a face would be painted on the linen. Individual body parts were like the breast, genitalia would be modeled out of material. Then linen was laid over these as clothing. The deceased was made to appear as true to life as possible. The Egyptians recognized early on that the bodily decay started in the viscera of the chest and the abdominal cavities. So they took the decisive steps to make an incision into the abdominal cavity and removing the organs. So that the deceased should remain whole. The organs were not disposed of, but wrapped individually in linen and buried in the tomb. In the earliest days, the packages of organs were probably laid in the particular area in the tomb, only being placed in specific canopic jars somewhat later. There were always 4 jars, one for each organ. The designated canopic jars back to the scholars who made the intensive study of the culture of ancient Egypt. He mistakenly took the jar shaped figures of Osiris as a representation of the Canopus and the pilot of Menelaus, and the idea was transferred into the jars to use them to hold organs. The oldest record of canopic jars come from the gravers of Queen Hetepheres, the mother of Shepis, and his granddaughter Maurice. Such jars are not found in tombs, private individuals until later. Then the plain Nemset vases with flat lids worked in chalkstone, alabaster stone, or fiery clay. Now y'all see I got that alabaster crystal right there. Y'all see that? I got the alabaster crystal pinned up in my cart right now. No, I don't. Somebody bought it. Somebody purchased the alabaster stone. I do got some more. I need to check and see how many more of those I do have. Because somebody definitely gratitude somebody. I did not even see that. I'm all over here engaged in my studies. I didn't even notice somebody done copped them the alabaster crystal. But that's why I got crystals, because when we found out that these crystals do these amazing, wonderful things, people actually want these crystals in their crystal artillery, right? Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna have to check on it because I do have some more alabaster. Matter of fact, hold on, let me put that one up because somebody just actually purchased that one. So I got this one right here. Hold on, let me see if I got another one because I'm gonna put that one up there because I'm gonna put this one. Wait a minute, hold on, let me put it back up there just in case somebody wants the other one. Hold on. Okay, yes, sis. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. Oh, they're not gonna let me put it back up there. Okay. Let's say I gotta get off of here and do that. Okay, it's cool. It's cool. We ain't gonna worry about it. We ain't gonna worry about it, fam. We ain't gonna worry about it. Just put another crystal up there for the time being. All right. But that's what the alabaster like, everybody. So if you can imagine these jars are made out of these crystals, right? So that's, you can tell they ancient. So that's why they kind of faded, but this is what they would look like. Alabaster, right? So this holds energy, right? Because that's why they put their organs inside of there, because that's a protective energy, right? They make you want to go look up alabaster. And they said that's what the Pandora box is made out of, alabaster. So that's why I was like, that is a very, Stephanie, you got an alabaster. Not telling your business, but Stephanie, you got one. I know because I sent it to you. You got to ask for alabaster crystal. Look at Stephanie like, wait, let me go get my crystals. Look, my sister probably got to go get her crystals right quick, honey. Um, okay, so then we got Osiris as a representation of the Canopus, the pilot of the. Wait a minute, we just read that. Hold on, hold on. Let's see, where are we at? So they will put them in jars like this too. So that's those, like, when you see these like this, those was our ancestors and they kept their organs inside of these jars. Now, something that I will have you know about our ancestors is, if they was the first people that was performing mummifications and they was the first ones to take the organ out the body, then that meant they knew a lot about the human body. Am I right or wrong? They knew a lot about diseases and disorders, right? Because they was the undertakers. They knew how people died. They had seen what happened to your liver if you don't take care of it. They saw what happened when you don't take care of your lungs. They saw what happened when you don't take care of whatever you don't take care of. They saw it. So they were, because they were scientists, right? So they were able to keep documentation of this information. So these Egyptians understood about death, life. They understood about diseases and disorders. They understood about healing. They understood the whole totality. So when you see, I say I go study Egypt, and people be like, "You think you know everything?" Now I don't think I know everything, but I know these ancient Egyptians understood anatomy, and I know they understood biology, and I know they understood chemistry, and I know that they studied the periodic elements, and I know that if you go study them, you would know that too. That's why this was called the ancient mystery schools of Egypt, right? Yeah, because they studying life and death in the body. I told you my brother got killed. Now what you missing? This was personal. I wasn't doing this because I said I was gonna get on TikTok and compete against people on TikTok. No, I ain't do that. I learned about this because my little brother got killed, and I wanted to know where his body was at. I wanted to know where his soul was at. So I had learned about the Ba, which is the soul, and I had learned about the Ka, which is the spirit, and I had started learning about eternity. And I started learning about the pharaohs, and I started learning about ancient Egypt. And then I ended up down here in Louisiana, in New Orleans, where I saw the city of the dead, and I woke up and I was like, this Egypt. I know what's going on. I done been studying this stuff for so long. I know where I'm at. I know what's going on. I know what I'm looking at. I know what's around me. I know what's going on. It's making sense why I'm obsessed with the cats. It's making sense why I'm obsessed with the lions, the tigers, all of that. A jaguar. You know, people on here teaching me about cats. Bro, I study cats. Why? Because I'm an ancient Egyptian. So it ain't nothing you about to tell me about a cat. I'm just saying because this is what I'm interested in studying. That's why I'm out here teaching about the Thundercats. That's why people be like, you all over the place. No, I'm not. I'm where I need to be. I promise you, I'm where I need to be. I promise you, I got divine guidance. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm on here talking about Narnia, the archers from Narnia, the Indians, the Scotlands that wore the kilts like King Tut because he was Scottish and he had the kilt on just like Michael Jackson in Do You Remember video when he was doing the little TLC dance and he had on the little kilt. That's Scotland. That go back to Texas, which is Egypt. Any questions? I'm serious about this knowledge and connecting these dots. I'm serious about these barges and these Egyptians being on these boats. I'm serious about this. Gratitude, fam. I'm serious about the code in these hieroglyphs like Cleopatra did. You know what I'm saying? Because she read Egyptian and she read hieroglyphs. I'm serious about building up a library at Alexandria, you know? I be inviting people in my home all the time. Hey, I got a library. Look at that. Look at this. You want to learn about something? Look, read this. Look at this. I'm known for that. But you want to know it ain't. All right. Just move on. Just keep it pushing because people actually want to hear what I got to say. You might not be one of them people, but just because you ain't one of them people, because I ain't trending yet. So you probably follow trends. And because I'm not trending yet, you probably don't want to follow me. Because I'm never going to be trending. So you probably never will follow me because you follow trends. Now, people that follow knowledge, they going to be like, hold up, Shorty knows something. Hold up, Shorty just said something. Hold up, wait, did she just say, let me follow her. She knows something. She just said that the Ba is the soul. She just said that the Ka is the spirit. She just said her brother got unalived and she was looking for his soul and she found it. So if I got any sense and I'm over here going through a spiritual awakening and grieving, I'm gonna follow Shorty because apparently she know where the souls go. Apparently Shorty knows something about the spirit. Apparently Shorty knows something about the universe. She talking about Orion's belt. She talking about the Milky Way, the galaxy, yeah, Tesla. She talking about the sun. She on a first name basis with the universe and the stars. Then she up here talking about the cat from Narnia, which was a lion who actually sung the universe into existence. Then she told me that that's Ptah. Then she told me Ptah is Enki, which is an Anunnaki. So she telling me that this Anunnaki who can shapeshift. who is an alien, who is an extraterrestrial, who is Osiris, and Osiris is Ra, and Osiris can shapeshift into a falcon, just like the Bashi said can fly. Okay, I get it now. I get it now. Keep talking, shorty. I'm just saying, wise people be following me. Like foolish people, they gonna go follow trends because it's trending. Go follow them trends. But wise people gonna sit back and listen. You know what I'm talking about? Wise counsel. They gonna sit back and think about it. They gonna sit back and add up what they know, put it with it. You know what I'm saying? Like Roman influences on the mummification, even more critical in Fayum, a large oasis lying approximately 45 miles southwest of present-day Cairo. During the Middle Kingdom of the Pharaohs, built their pyramids in Amentet of Hawa. Greek writers describe the extended burial temple belonging to the pyramid of Amenhotep. So my question to you, remember I said Cleopatra was Greek? And remember I said Greece was down there in Louisiana? And remember I said Marie Laveau spoke Greek and she spoke French? And I said Marie Laveau was Cleopatra who lived down in Alexandria. Oh, okay. Gratitude with the Pharaoh. Okay, and I said that she lived down there in Louisiana, which is Egypt. Okay. Now tell me why the Greeks was writing down what the Egyptians did. Because you said I don't know what I'm talking about. So since I don't know what I'm talking about, you need to explain to us why was the Greeks recording the Egyptians? Why was the Greeks documenting what the Egyptians was doing? Why did they write it down in Greek? Since you know everything, why did they write it down in Greek? Because we know that the Greeks was the Creek Indians, and we know the Creek Indians was the establisher of writings. We know the Greeks was the establishers of writings, including Roman numerals. And we know that the Greeks established the Romans. We know that. You probably don't know that because you don't study. You just be on people comments talking about no, it ain't. So could you explain to us why since Greece ain't in Louisiana and we don't know what we talking about, you explain to us why the Greeks was recording the Egyptians. Tell us. Go ahead. This your time. This your turn. You tell us. Cause I'm telling us otherwise. Since you know everything, you tell us. You can't elaborate. Okay, all right. So we gonna keep going with our truth then, cause you can't do nothing with this. You can't do nothing with this. It's too many receipts. You gonna be stressed out trying to uncover. We done ripped the veil off. This the Wizard of Oz. You not about to sit up here and act like you the wizard no more. It's over with. We see the fake smoke and mirrors. We see the little fake microphone. We see the little thing you standing up on. We see the curtain. You can't. It's over with. When the game over with, the game over with. I'm just saying, when people playing on your top and you get the exposing that stuff, they can't play on your top no more. So I'm just saying, whoever out here top playing can go ahead and give up the shenanigans because we are awake. Can somebody drop I awake in the chat? Where is the Johnsons at? Where is John's sons at? Can somebody drop I awake in the chat? Please, somebody drop I awake in the chat. Somebody there watching know what I awake mean. Can somebody get I awake in the chat? Gratitude, because they think you sleep. These people think you in the land of Nod, and these people think that you done dozed off, and they think that you sleeping and slumbering, and they could just come in here tap dancing and tell you anything. You need to tell them that you are the Christ, and you are conscious, and you can see your eye woke, your pineal gland open. You need to let them know I am awake. I can see you. You know how people be like doing stuff like creeping, it's like a raccoon or something just creeping. I can see you. I can see you in the garbage can, bro. I can see you. You think you slick. People be trying to steal, playing on your. You ever think a baby? The baby be like, You be like, give me my bracelet. The baby be like, I don't got it. I don't got the bracelet. Like, that's how people look. That's how people look when you get this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? When you start getting this knowledge, the knowledge be light and you can see the people. And then people get to moving weird when you expose them. They just want to hide stuff and want to, nah, don't, you stuttering, you lying. I know what a liar look like. You know how many children I done raised? You gonna sit here and play on my top like I ain't, like I don't got 9 little brothers and sisters. So are you serious right now? I got 9 little brothers and sisters. Are you serious? You know how many little cousins I got? You gonna sit? You know how many little cousins I done babysat? You gonna sit here and just hide something behind, like you my first experience with human? Get out of here, man! Get out of here! Get out of here! No, cause people be acting like this your first experience with a human. I don't know about y'all, but I got the bougie auntie who thinks she better than everybody. So when you be that bougie person that think you better than everybody, I know somebody just like you. So you know how old people be like, I got your number. So when you think you better than people, I got your number. That's called pride. I know you. I don't care who auntie you is. If you full of pride, I know you. I know your type. Then when you come over here with the envy spirit, I know your type too, because I done met you before too. You one of the 7 deadly sins. I know you too. I don't care how your flesh want to dress up. If you a deadly sin, I know you too. I know jealousy when I see jealousy. You know what I'm saying? Because jealousy be coming in all types of shape, flavors, sizes, all that. Jealousy will be your best friend, your cousin, your aunt, your mama. Jealousy just got a way of just showing up in people. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't you that I'm coming from. It's that energy that you carrying. Cause I done seen it before. You know what I'm saying? You know how many times we done seen jealousy inside of different people? I just said we the ancient Egyptians and we was out there performing these rituals and these rites and we was out here like, mummifying people bodies. So we done seen death how many times? We done seen how many jealous hearts? How many envious hearts we done seen? So after a while, you become a master, and when somebody come in with a jealous heart, you be like, "Oh, this is a jealous heart. I done seen about 2 million of these. I know a jealous heart when I see one. I don't care if you paint it red. I don't care if you put glitter on it. I don't care if you put diamonds on it. I don't care about your lace front, your lash. I don't care about none of that. I can still see the jealousy, bro. If you ain't healed it, it's still there, man. You feel me? Jealousy, envy, wrath, greed. You know how many people out here unaliving their own family for some money? It's women out here unaliving their husbands for insurance policies. It's husbands out here unaliving their wives for insurance. I do you one better. It's mamas out here unaliving their children for insurance policies, bro. You better wake up and understand that this jealousy, this envy, this lust, this greed, these 7 deadly sins, they live inside the flesh. You understand that? Do you understand that? So don't let people come up with they little skin suit on and fool you. Cause this is all this is a skin suit, bro. And it come in the form of a mama, daddy, uncle, sister, brother. I just told you folks could shapeshift. You better stay woke and start looking at people's souls. You better start cutting on your multi senses and quit looking at people with them 5 senses, or you gonna be blind and fooled. And most of us done been there, done that, got the t-shirt. We done had narcissists come up and pose as other, we done been in the Little Red Ride Hood. And what's it called? Little Red Ride Hood. We was in that fairy tale. We was. Somebody ate the grandma and we over there like, Grandma, what big eyes you have? Grandma, what big teeth you have? Grandma, why is your zipper showing? You know what I'm saying? We all done been in there. Gratitude. But we done been there, done that, got the t-shirts, right? So people cannot lie to us and play on our tops at this point, because we looking at them souls at this point. We looking at them souls at this point, right? We no longer just looking at the flesh. We not fooled by the flesh no more. Like you can't just show up with your flesh and tell us anything. Not us. We looking at them souls. We looking at them multi senses. We looking at how you move, how you treat. We looking at are you compassionate or not. We looking at your spirit at this point. You feel me? We not looking at your flesh. You think we looking at your flesh. You think because you got a new car, we can't see your heart ain't right. You think because you got on a new outfit that we don't know what you did last summer. You know what I'm saying? People, that's you. That's you thinking you getting over on somebody. You ain't getting over on nobody. Why? Because you it's inside the earth. The earth is weighing the souls, bruh. You ain't getting away with nothing. They say if a man think that he got away with something, he only deceiving himself. You better go read your Bible. Thinking you got away with something on earth. Shame on you. Shame on you. Because you reap what you sow. You better go read that scripture too. You reap what you sow. They say whatever ditch that you dug for somebody to fall in, that's the ditch you gonna end up in. You best to go read your Bible. That you best to go read your Bible because you out here digging ditches for people to fall in. That's your ditch. That's your ditch. If you knew that, you wouldn't have been out there digging no ditch for nobody else, right? Because you would learn that people that live in glass houses cannot throw stones. I know I live in a glass house. I'm not throwing stones at nobody. I'm telling the truth out here. Why? Because I know I live in a glass house. You think I'm stupid? I'm not stupid. I know I live in a glass house. I know my glass could get shattered. I know my dreams can. Come on now, you shit. I told you I got the t-shirt, the bumper sticker. I'm not out here playing with people. I'm out here helping these people heal, telling these people the truth. And if you want to come against that, that's you. You could come against that if you want to. You could come against that if you want to. Because I'm telling you what I'm telling you. Get your pride involved in this if you want to. Get your ego caught up in this if you want to. Because this ain't about ego and pride. This is about the truth. I just told you I'm connected to Marie Cole David, who was a descendant of David. David represents the truth. When you go to court of law, they want the truth. That's an act of David. You pull that act of David out, I'm telling you, it's gonna get real quiet. Nobody ain't messing with the truth. People can't even handle the truth. I'm trying to tell you, the desire to become one with Osiris after death is particularly evident in painting mummy clothes from the Roman period. According to the legend, Osiris was unalived and torn into pieces by his brother. His wife, sister Isis, searched intriguingly to collect his remains until she was able to bury his body. Since his body was whole again, Osiris could be reanimated and gain eternal life. Okay, and could be reanimated and gain eternal life, becoming the king of the dead in the underworld. Eternal life was what everyone wanted to achieve. This process of transfiguration, discussed in the greater detail below, is illustrated in paintings of the deceased having become Osiris on mummy clothes, which were laid directly onto the mummy and fastened with narrow linen bindings. The cloth shown in illustration 92 dates from the last Pharaonic culture, probably from the 2nd century AD. Osiris symbols of powers are much changed. Instead of a crook or a palm frown, he holds two palms frowned in his hand. Ain't Jesus associated with palms, the palm tree? No, I'm just saying when you start learning about Osiris, you gonna realize who Jesus really is, because you gonna be like, hold on, like somebody capping or something, right? Okay, because now it says that around his neck he had a gold collar set with large. Ain't that King Tut? I mean, but now am I tripping? Cause Ptah had the big collar with the like the little William Shakespeare little outfit. I mean, is y'all thinking William Shakespeare, or is that just me? I mean, because he had the whole little, you know, how the William Shakespeare had the little turtleneck little thing with the little gemstones on it, right? Ptah had that same outfit on, bro. Ptah, the Egyptian god, he had the same exact outfit on, man. That's how I know that they connected to the Shakespeare's, right? And then you got Shakespeare down there in Texas. You got the Shakespeare Museum down there in Texas, where Egypt, Texas is at. Egypt, Texas. And then let's talk about William Shakespeare, shall we? Because I'm tired of acting like I don't know that that's William Penn. I know it. It just take intelligence to know that. Some people would say, "Well, I need a receipt." I mean, the man name is William Shakespeare, and the other man name is William Penn. What do you need? A pen, or what are you struggling with? I mean, I'm just trying to ask the question, like, am I that advanced, or is that not making sense? Can somebody drop a one or something in the chat if that makes sense to you? Because help me out. Help me out. I'm talking about when I was a child, I could see stuff like this even though I ain't had knowledge. And this is why I got kicked out of school all the doggone time. Because I could see, my sight is very clear. Very, very clear. Yeah, I got a different type of sight, a different type of insight, because I was very aware that William Shakespeare was William Penn. I very aware. Then I found out about King James. They was like King James and William Shakespeare had translated the Bible, and I was like, okay. And William Penn is a Quaker, okay, and they are from Pennsylvania, where the seven churches was wrote to the churches of Philadelphia. So here we go with the pen again. Was Thomas Edison up there? Because it wasn't Thomas Edison writing. He was printing stuff out. Thomas Edison. Okay, because all these cats with the pens and, you know, the two left feet with the penny loafers on, you know, the dude on the $2 bill with the little, all these little Quakers and leprechaun shoes and, you know, George Washington type folk writing letters with pens like they throat of somebody. Shakespeare, William Penn, you know, that's where my man went. But maybe that's just me. Maybe my man just knows stuff. You know, some people just follow trends and they be like, well, that's not what Lil Boosie said. And I be like, what? I'm talking about Thomas Edison. What are you? Well, do you know the new rapper? I don't. I don't. I know Thomas Edison. I know dope. I know stuff. I don't care about the trends, bro. I care about what I'm talking about right now. I'm on to something. It's too powerful to just be up here following trends. We can't start following trends when we talking about Edison and Thoth and them writing letters and them writing declarations and constitutions to the people. Do you know what we talking about here? And then they wrote the Constitution on papyrus paper. Ain't that what the Book of the Dead was wrote in papyrus? This is holy scriptures. Timbuktu, when they was putting the scriptures in the, maybe people don't care about Timbuktu. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just who I say I am, because I just know stuff. I do. I know stuff about Plato, Pythagoras. I do. Average people I know don't know this stuff. That's why I be by myself all the time. Why I feel like I got dropped off on the wrong planet sometimes. I be thinking I am kin to the wrong family. My grandma just told you I played with books. So if I was playing with books, I was learning how to read at a young age. I taught myself how to read. Ask my mama. Ask my mama. Let me get my mama on here just as a receipt. So I ain't got to keep explaining myself. You know what I'm saying? And my mama very intelligent. You think I'm I am a carbon copy. That's all I am. I would get my grandma up in here. You think I know some stuff? Man, you ain't heard nothing yet. The only thing about my grandma, cause she country, she gonna jack the word up like I be jacking the word up. But that's when you gonna realize she really is a Creek Indian, cause she make up her own stuff. You know, she a creator. Like I learned that from my grandma. My grandma might not know the word that fit in the sentence. She will make up her own damn word. You feel me? She be like, make it enough. You know what I'm saying? You be like, yes, ma'am. You a genius when you can just make up your own word in the middle of the damn sentence and people know what you're saying. That's some genius stuff. That's how I know where I come from. You know, I'm just a carbon copy. Cause she came from something greater than that. Cause they been doing this apparently. They been making up words. They been creators of civilization. You know what I'm talking about? Hmm. Look at Lebec. Remember we talked about Lebec in that book I got? They were like, no, it ain't. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Lebec is connected to Egypt. When I showed you Lebec was in West Virginia. No, it ain't. Yes, it is. Now explain to us if they was finding these mummies in Lebec, and Lebec is in West Virginia, which is connected to Virginia, which is connected to Kentucky, where we said King Tut was at. You explain to us why they finding all these mummies in Kentucky and Virginia if this ain't Egypt. You tell us why it's Egyptian mummies in Kentucky in the Mammoth caves. You tell us why. Why are they finding Egyptian mummies in Texas if this ain't Egypt? Tell us why they found the ancient Egyptian mummies down there in Louisiana if this ain't Egypt. Can you tell us why they done found ancient Egyptian mummies in Utah if this ain't Egypt? You can't tell us, can you? You can't tell us, can you? All you can do is just run your mouth and just say that we don't know what we talking about, but you can't prove that we don't know what we talking about. So that's pride, right? That's pride, right? Because you just, for some odd strange reason, just don't want to listen to us. Is it because I'm a woman? Because there is a whole conspiracy to persecute the woman. I mean, they got in the Bible that say, I suffer a woman not to teach. You know how many times I done been up here teaching and one of them little dudes that be yelling at people with the purple shirts on, one of them dudes that be out there yelling at people with the Bible, run up on me if you want to with their purple shirt with their Bible, because I got something for you. But respectfully, respectfully. Okay, because I ain't some of y'all don't even know what y'all joining, but some of y'all know exactly what's going on. And if you one of them, you run up on me if you want to. I got some righteousness for you. But anyway, um, I'm just saying because they be like, I suffer you not to teach. You suffer me not to teach. First of all, sir, who are you pumping your chest up at? Sir, not only who are you pumping your chest up at, but did you know that there was a persecution against the feminine? Okay, so did you know that they took the matriarchs out the Bible? I mean, because you over there reading your Bible yelling at people. Well, the 13th chapter. Wait, hold up, hold up. Did you know that they actually took the feminine out the Bible? I would know because I'm a Sybil and the Sybils wrote the Bible. So the fact that the Sybils are not in the Bible and you yelling at people Bible scriptures, what are you doing, sir? Because what you doing is you are reciting the remix version of the story. You're not telling the original story. Okay? You not singing the original song, sir. Because you didn't write the original song, sir. So I'm gonna need you to pipe down. Okay? This is for all the egotistical masculine energies that feel like a woman should not teach. I'm speaking on the woman's behalf to let you know that X comes before Y, sir. In case you don't know your alphabet, X comes before Y, sir. So we are the XX chromosome, sir. So us being the XX chromosome, we were here first, sir. We are the originals. We are the OGs, sir. You are the carbon copy, sir. You are a duplicate. You are a genetic defect, sir. No disrespect to you, but I need for you to understand where you come from. Before you disrespect the woman, understand that's where you came from, sir. Yeah, understand that. Because it's a lot of masculine energy, because it's a masculine, it is actually a trend to hate the woman and persecute the woman. And that was started by a brotherhood. You might want to go and watch American Horror Stories and see how Marie Laveau had to get with Fiona. So they had to get the voodoo priests with the witches to come together because the men had formed a secret brotherhood against the woman, sir. This is why they destroyed the knowledge of Isis out the temple. This is why they took the knowledge of Sophia out the Bible. This is why they took the knowledge of Zoe out the Bible. This is why they didn't want you to know that Noah and Solomon and all these other Moses and Merlin was women, sir. But they got dresses on though. But the Pope got a dress on though, sir. Jesus even got a dress on though, sir. But you think we gonna just act like we don't see that he walking around with Big Mama Moo Moo on? We know Big Mama. Don't worry about it. We know Big Mama. I met her. You want us to just disregard that your Jesus walking around with the cute sandals on, with the little pouch purse, with the bust down wig, with the hair done. You want us to just sit here and act like we don't know what's going on, sir? Oh, that's your big secret you ain't want nobody to know. Oh, okay, all right. You want to back it up with the George Washington secret? Somebody throw a rose up there. We gonna tell George Washington's secret too, cause they ain't want you to know this, but I'm gonna tell you today. Cause George Washington was a Mason, right? hmm And he built the Masonic kingdom just like Jesus did the Masonic kingdom. Let's talk about the Masonic kingdom. So let's get a fact out here that's gonna just dim that light. Now, George Washington had XXY chromosome. It was called Klinefelter disease. Go look it up. We just did it that. We just unscrewed that light. Get out the dark. Get out the dark. Seriously. It's called Klinefelter disease. He had XXY chromosome, which means he was a hermaphrodite like Adam. hmm You go look up the CIA websites. Adam was a hermaphrodite all the way up to Noah. Quit playing with us. Yeah, that's where your Baphomet come in at. You gonna stop. You gonna stop playing with us now. You gonna stop showing us stuff and having us scared of our damn selves. You gonna stop that. Talking about immaculate conception. Come on, you knew this was a hermaphrodite. Come on, stop playing with us. Just stop it. Stop it. Parthogenesis. These was hermaphrodites, bro. Come on, get with the times. Didn't her and her sister went in I can't even talk. Wasn't it Isis and Nephthys that resurrected Osiris? It was Isis and Nephthys. Did something go past your head? Did something go past your head? I mean, you grown as heck, right? You grown. And it take two to tangle, right? So it took who to make the baby? Because Heru was a baby, right? So who had the baby? Isis and her sister who? Nephthys. Okay. So that was the parthogenesis that we all arguing about? Because they was hermaphrodites. Quit playing with us, bro. Stop it. That's why people still write XX on Marie Laveau grave today, right? Because that's ISIS. Come on, quit playing with us, bro. Y'all gonna sit here and y'all gonna quit playing with us, bro. It didn't come yet. Mm-mm. So we got Isis and Nephthys, which are sisters who are connected to Osiris because it was five of them, wasn't it? It was five of them. Five, five. You can let it out when you want to. Okay, it was five of them though, right? It was five of them. What they said, it was 5 original tribes. They teach us that down at the public food system. It was 5 original tribes. Now, Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham because he was the chief of the 5 tribes. Because he was the Father Abraham. Now, any of y'all know Abraham Lincoln? That's the president that was the vampire slayer, right? Who was the day walker. He was like a blade. Okay. But anyway, because he was walking around with the 12 gangster disciples from Chicago. But anyway, some of y'all don't think stuff stink, but hey, he was walking around with GDs. Hey, is it GDs in Chicago? Somebody drop a one in the chat if it's some GDs in Chicago. Cause I some people don't know their stuff. I'm trying to tell you, he was walking around with some GDs, man. He wasn't walking. The Peter was like, I'm gonna cut off people's swords. Paul was out here trying to take people up out the game. Like he was walking around with some real hitters, bro. Now that the watered down version down at the church, they teaching y'all. Shame on them, but bro, Peter and them was trying to get active, bro. They was like out here trying to get active. They wasn't out here just, oh, we gonna go pray for everybody. Nah, they had swords, bro. They was out here on some Knights Templar. They were trying to get active, bro. That's why you best to watch where you get your knowledge from. Cause people be giving them little drinks that ain't got no fizz to them. You know what I'm talking about? I need a straight up drink with no chaser. I need the straight up truth. I want it to burn. You know what I'm saying? I need to be. You know how when the truth hits you, you be like, I want that kind of truth. Don't give me no watered down stuff that I'm go down the wrong hole and stuff. I don't want none of that. That's, you keep that watered down stuff over there. But I need that real truth, like to make you sit up and you be thinking and you be like, dang, that I don't know if I can handle too much of that. That was too much. I want some of that. Now, he walk around with some GDs though, because the GDs in Chicago. So he walked around with these GDs, and they was on one. They was, ready to get active. Anybody could get it. You know what I'm talking about? Cause remember, Jesus was like, Peter, put your sword up, bruh. And Peter was like, I ain't putting up nothing. And Jesus had to go over there and holler at Peter like, bruh, listen, check these. I know I'm a magi and everything, and I know I could just disarm him and all that, but check this. Put your sword up, bro. Just put it up. Right now, it's a time for everything. It's a time to laugh. It's a time to mourn. It's a time to refrain. Jesus had to hit him with some scriptures because Peter was out there like, because remember they went to arrest Jesus. Gotta know your history. They went out there to arrest Jesus, and Peter was like, "Who they about to arrest?" You know how everybody got that turned up cousin. You drop a one in the chat if you got a turned up cousin. If you got a cousin Peter. Remember Uncle Pete from the Poetic Justice movie? Cousin Pete. Remember Cousin Pete? You watch Tupac and the Cousin Pete. Quit playing. You know that's a part of this too, right? They could have gave him any name. They ain't had no other names. He could have been Cousin Ron or somebody. Cousin Pete. Stay woke. Now, we got Cousin Pete over here. And the Roman soldiers was going to arrest Jesus, right? So Jesus was beefing with the Romans, okay? So they want, because remember, Jesus was rebelling against the church. And the Romans was the Roman emperors of the church. And Jesus was like, not in my father's house. Remember, he was flipping the tables over. He was telling them, like, you want some other stuff. And, and remember, Jesus was a whole Georgia rebel, bro. They told Jesus to stone somebody. Jesus so gangster, right? Jesus went out there. He was like, all right, before y'all stone my homie, because they knew he was a psychic, right? And they knew he had the gift of prophecy, and he was a real one. Jesus was a real one. So before they start casting stones, Jesus was like, check D. Before we throw these stones at this innocent man over here, make sure all of y'all is innocent. Because the first one of y'all that cast some blood, the first one of y'all to make this innocent man bleed is going down. The first one of y'all that cast a boulder at this innocent man, a boulder will be cast at you. The first one of y'all that crossed this line to judge this man is gonna be judged. Like it was what he was saying. So that's why nobody ain't throw the rocks at the man because nobody wasn't pure enough to throw the rocks at the man. Because he just said, if you throw a rock at this man, it's gonna be a rock thrown back at you. If you throw a boulder at this man, it's gonna be a boulder thrown back at you. If you come out here and accuse this man of anything that it's gonna happen to you. So nobody ain't throw no rocks, nobody ain't throw no boulders, nobody ain't point no fingers, nobody ain't do nothing. Why? Because Jesus had said some real stuff. So everybody was standing out there thinking like, my side of the street ain't that clean. I can't really be, my grass ain't cut. I can't be talking about people's yards. Know what I'm saying? My porch ain't that straight, so I can't be talking about people's steps. My sidewalk ain't together, so I definitely can't be talking about people's sidewalks. I'm just saying. Jesus got out there and told them folk the truth. And them folk they couldn't do nothing with that but respect it. Because you gotta respect the truth. You can't call out the truth. You can't confront the truth. All you can do is respect it. The truth gonna make you mad, but you gonna respect it though. Like you right. Hey, you ever seen anybody raise up against the truth? Somebody tell you the truth, all you can do is just you'll be mad. You'll be like, yeah, all right, okay, all right. If you a real one, see, if you a real one, you gonna take that because it's the truth. But when you know it's the truth and you gonna lie out of pride, no, it ain't. But you know deep down inside it's the truth. You gotta watch them type people. You gotta watch them type people because they showing you who they is. The truth ain't in them. They just rejected the truth. That's when the Bible say, if you reject the truth, I'ma reject you. It say you could reject the truth in private and I'ma reject you in public. The Bible tell you that. Why? Because the truth is in your heart. So when you get to rejecting the truth know that you rejected it. Okay, so I gotta end my video over on this YouTube channel. I will come back on YouTube with some more videos to go with this. But I gotta end it because the tablet is about to, not make it anymore. So I wanted to properly say goodbye to you people. But I am still over here on this YouTube spiritual situation. If you want to come over here and see us, but we still over here keeping it going. So I will talk to y'all beautiful souls real soon. Real soon. All right, y'all. Peace over there.